Hello friends, welcome to the end of the fasting experiment video. Today I want to tell you guys about how the fasting experiment went very shortly, briefly. So essentially, if you recall, what happened was that I fasted for 10 days consecutively. Then I felt that I was unable to work. I was getting antsy and annoyed about it. So I decided to end my fast early, but I moved to a fasting mimicking diet. I told you guys that I'd update you every few days. I ended up not updating you at all. And what ended up happening is that I spent about 5 days in a fasting mimicking diet, but I have a caveat there. And then after that, I did 3 more days of a full water fast, and then I stopped about 2 days ago. I think I've got my days right. So in total, I did 13 days, separated by 5 days of fasting mimicking diet. However, on 2 of those days, I increased the calories, not consciously, but I think I ate a little bit too many berries, and I think I got to 1,100 or so calories. So it was a bit above the 900 calories needed. However, throughout this entire time, I consumed almost no protein. So I didn't even consume nuts during the fasting mimicking diet to keep mTOR halted as much as possible. I also reused rapamycin, kept metformin in, and used ACAR a couple of times. So basically I spent, I would say, almost 20 days with mTOR really shut down, with AMP kinase really turned on. In total, so I went from 184 pounds, which, as I said, was not my natural weight. I was really carved up. My natural weight probably at that time was 175 pounds. And at the end of the diet, I was 162 pounds, which is below my lowest fasting weight usually. Usually after a fast, I go to 166 or 165. Now, what I did notice is that toward the end of the fast, I started to lose a little bit of muscle, visibly. Now, I don't have much muscle in the first place, but I could still notice the change. This does mean, the good news is, this does mean there was a lot of autophagy going on, because autophagy is literally the eating of protein mainly. But it also shows me that a long time period without protein and a longer than a week-long fast, you seem to reduce muscle significantly, visibly. Of course, you can regain this very quickly, but I've never even lost much muscle on a 1-week fast. Of course, again, as I say, I don't have much muscle anymore, so maybe it would be more visible if I was 220 pounds or 230 pounds or whatever, but nonetheless, it wasn't really until after the 9th or 10th day that I started to notice this, and especially during the fasting mimicking diet, that's when I really started to notice it. Overall, this experiment has been educational for me. More than it has been educational, though, I mean, in terms of educational, the main thing I learned is be careful with supplements during a fast, right? Because I experienced that gastrointestinal distress, which I didn't experience on the 3 days afterwards. But other than that, mainly what happened to me during this fast was that I spent a lot of time thinking about how I could optimize the fast using pharmacologic tools to enhance the effects of the fast. So some of the things I thought about for different people, maybe, is thyroid hormone. In fact, I talked to one of the people on Reddit, Morning Iron, about for people who use androgens, even using androgens during a fast to keep the sympathetic nervous tone up. The use, obviously, of AMP kinase activators. I also thought about using choline, phosphatidyl, because as I said before, I realized that with the fasting mimicking diet, you don't have to be 0 calories. So I started thinking about this idea of using phosphatidylcholine, also sirtuin activators, but using phosphatidylcholine to enhance the fat oxidation in the liver and in the visceral fat. So this experiment gave me a lot of ideas, and what I'm going to work on in the next few months is coming up with different fasting programs for myself and for clients that can really enhance the effects of a 5-day fast. So I even thought of using like adrenergic agonists and different kinds of things like that. So I will experiment with them in the future. To be honest, for me, this was educational. The main reason I'm making this video is just to conclude the experiment and let you guys know what happened. Overall, I feel much better after the fast. As you guys can see the updates in the fast, I felt quite badly during the long fast. After around 8 days, it started to feel bad, but who knows if that's a lack of experience with longer fasts or what exactly. But I do notice, Lucie always tells me that my skin looks better after a fast. I never really noticed before, but I did notice now. I'm not too much into skin, to be honest. I'm not cosmetically inclined myself, but I did notice that my skin looked quite a bit different. I feel calmer even after the fast. Now I've been eating for 2 days. I started eating meat to try to turn on mTOR. Now the reality is IGF-1 remains low after a fast even if I eat meat. But I try to do it anyway just to help differentiate some of those stem cells. Oh, another thing I've been thinking about doing is, not for myself, but generally using growth hormone, even for myself potentially, during the fast, to exaggerate the effect that the fast will have on new stem cell proliferation, or even using pro-apoptotic agents that kill cells that would increase programmed cell death during a fast. So there are tons of ideas to go around. Maybe I'll write some blog posts in the future and try them out myself. But thank you guys for tuning in with me. Probably what I'm going to do on this channel now is every month, probably toward the end of my 5-day or 1 week long fast, because every 3 months I'm going to do a week long fast. So probably at the end of the fast, on the last day, I'm going to make a video here. It'll probably be called the Fasting Chronicles, and it'll be on this playlist, which is the fasting playlist. So you guys can see what I'm up to, what my new ideas are, and get motivated yourself to fast as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.